And there are few sports more dangerous than whitewater kayaking. The unpredictable rapids can be both thrilling and deadly. David Martin experienced that firsthand when he covered one of the country's premier competitions in Virginia. He filed this report for 60 Minutes Sports.
Each summer, the Great Falls of the Potomac attract some of the country's best kayakers for an annual race. This year, 23-year-old Shannon Christy came to take on the men who usually dominate.
How old were you when you started kayaking?
Almost 21.
She's already run some of the most extreme whitewater on the East Coast, but she's never been here before.
So you take up the sport when you're 21, and you're going to run Great Falls 3 years later.
I am.
That doesn't strike you as overreaching?
I wouldn't say overreaching. It would strike me as confident.
She's a rising star in the kayak scene, and she's just getting to the point where people want to capture what she does.
Steve Fisher from South Africa is one of the sport's biggest stars. Before her first run down the falls, Shannon got some pointers from Jason Beeks, a 6-time winner of the race.
Those 2 little ledges right there in the middle. Plop, plop.
He warned her to stay away from the deadly chute called Subway.
Ready?
Ready?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Here she goes for her first run.
Oh, that was great. Cannot wait to do it again.
Her enthusiasm is infectious. But these are Class 5 rapids, an international rating which means extremely difficult and violent with life-threatening hazard. 2 days before the race was to start, our cameras spotted an empty kayak at the bottom of the falls. It was Shannon Christy's. No one saw it happen, but somehow she had come out of her kayak, been swept over Subway and killed. Her body trapped under an avalanche of water.
We've got tons of water pressure pinning her against a rock.
Fisher led a team into the falls where they risked their own lives to recover her body. Tethered by a rope on one hand and anchored by another from behind, he leaned into the torrent, stabbing at the water with first his hand and then a paddle.
I felt it hit something soft. That was not a rock. I said, she's here. I told her, I said, I'm going to take you home. I said, don't worry, I'm going to take you home.
He managed to attach a set of slings to Shannon's arm and shoulder. The kayakers heaved with all their strength.
And suddenly everything gave.
She was out.
She came right out of the sieve.
Shannon Christy was the 3rd kayaker killed by Great Falls since they were first run nearly 40 years ago. This year's race was canceled and a memorial service held instead. But the lure of the falls remains. As the service ended, the kayakers ran the falls again. This time for Shannon. David Martin, CBS News on the Potomac River.
And you can watch 60 Minutes Sports.